everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers come into today's matchup wanting to find a way to walk out of the stadium with win number 5 on the season. It's the Vikings going up against the Packers. So with that, let's get up to Lambeau Field. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL, there's a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Second down, Bradford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
He has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 3rd and 1, here's Bradford, and this is going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Bradford to throw for it on 4th. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
on the counter now on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Bradford on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down. Halfback sent in motion. On 3rd down, Bradford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And tough starting field position here. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. And he won't get in, but you can't be set up any better than that. They'll have the ball at the 1-yard line.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So they recover the fumble in plus position, but they can't go anywhere. In fact, they go backwards, but they do get a field goal out of it.
They'll take the 3, but in a lot of ways, they feel like they let themselves down by not capitalizing, and they definitely let the defense down for getting the key turnover.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
Get reset, 50.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Now a 2nd down throw for Bradford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 2nd down following the run.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Bradford from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You drop in 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over. Right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now you're going to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Rodgers going for the deep ball. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on a final play of this first quarter. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Second down, Bradford. Over the middle here to Rudolph. A big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. And he motions the wide receiver. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense, so you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They run again with Ajayi. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They come out here in the eye. On the sneak, Rodgers. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. switches. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they like to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good.
Jeffrey with a catch left side. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him. If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Second down following the incompletion. A second down throw for Bradford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words.
Black 58, Will. Black 58. Go,
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Fresh set of downs here. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. A first down throw for Bradford. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he's got room. And down to the 36-yard line here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Bradford to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Bradford toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense. defense instead of offense, but in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job, way to knock it down.
On third down, Bradford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Yeah, that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Rodgers going to throw. He's going to... And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Second down to the offense needing 5 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the fight. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. Third quarter now. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And this is complete on the comebacker. It's Landry. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And Cook has it left side. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Obviously, this is not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now a play fake here on first down. Finding time. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll come out in the pistol. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package.
Yeah.
6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. To throw is Bradford. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That's fielded at the 8. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And the Packers pick it up.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think in normal situations, most play callers would probably shelve that play in this situation. But down in the red zone, got a little something extra to play with. I like the way that he took a shot and went after it.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Packers get set to go. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And now out comes Minnesota. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we'll put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get into the end end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. It's good to make it 17-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here comes Cobb. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. Play action now. Bradford. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Second down, Bradford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Third and long for Bradford. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. So he's in for his third score of the game, and the defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Here comes Cobb. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground. It didn't go in the other direction.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
To throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want. On underneath by all means.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On play action, now Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. This is Ajayi. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Now Bradford. And down he goes. A sack. They sack him back across midfield at about the 48-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
All right, say it with me now. A lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a play fake. Rodgers on the move to his left. Now he's going to let it go. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 40 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Rodgers again now. This will be caught at about the 3. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. Rodgers will throw for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the two-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here comes the D swarming to the line. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Now a handoff looking right. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really... And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's got time. He's good. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. Throwing here, Bradford. He's going to float this one deep right side. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver high in the air to bring it in. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit.
And now here's another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Now they'll run it on the toss. Room here to run. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
To throw is Bradford. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Minnesota. 53 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Bradford, wow, he's going to throw. It fights him off. Under pressure, they got him again. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. Third and long for Bradford. Going up top. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not involved.